It's that time of year again, summer camp, the 2025 World Series of Poker, where people come from far and wide, and today, just 7 remain. Well, a couple of nickels here for trick time. Upstairs we go. 350.
Oh, that's 80. I'm like, where's my blind?
24 million stack, by the way. It's the far and away chip leader.
Yeah, I didn't even see it.
Well, let's talk about the pay ladder here, Stapes, because that's in part what's on the minds of this crew as they navigate conservatively in the face of aggression from that big stack. Roughly $19,000, separating 7th from 6th. That's real money in a 1,500.
Yeah, it's a lot of buy-ins.
Better it goes. Jackson open, she 3 bets, he 4 bets stuff.
Xiao
King 3.
defending her big with the ace-6 and coming up with bottom pair. Ace of clubs working hard here on the jack-high flop.
Were you not the person that coined the phrase, it's hard to make a pair?
I was not, although I definitely subscribe to the philosophy that it is hard to make a pair.
For sure.
Davenport with the underpair checks back and finds 15 cents on the turn.
I don't know if there's any better feeling than turning a set. It is way up there for me in the game of poker.
So disguised.
And especially once word gets around that this is the sort of fellow that rips it in with King 3 pre-flop. It's hard to really give him credit here, or ever, after seeing a move like that.
Now, some here at this table, which was assembled once the field was down to 7 players of 4 and 3, likely have some seat time versus Davenport and had an opportunity to compile a little bit of a scouting report.
But no stream to go back and look at.
Yeah, and that's important. Xiao keeping him honest here, and the 3 of diamonds is somewhat unfortunate for her if she decides to get sticky in the face of what we have to imagine is going to be a fairly healthy value bet on the end.
I don't know that. Hey, I'll be impressed if she can station twice with whatever size bet this is going to be on the river. Or he could, you know, just check it back for deception. It's a move I like to pull sometimes.
Yeah.
You could be up against jacks or 10s here, Ali. You really don't know. You can never be too careful.
1 in a million chance that you are, and then suddenly you look like a genius, or even worse, a cheater.
Yeah.
Well, here it comes.
Nice assortment of colors there. A little fruit salad.
Bag of Skittles. Looking at full pottish.
Wow. Yep.
That is
Set's
a
good. Set's good.
painful blow to Xiao's stack there.
Start playing tight.
Boxcars now for Staats. On the puck, but facing the 2 biggest stacks out there.
Did you just come from a roulette stream? What's going on here with the hard 8 and the boxcars?
Listen, I like to warm up for the booth with a little bit of action.
Is there a roulette show that I'm unaware of that you're just,
you know, I'm just trying to pick up that platinum status for the free parking, Joe. You know, got to give him a little taste here at Caesars. And the taste served up by Staats is a limp on the button.
a button limping range. Who knew? And gives Davenport cause to call with 7-3 suited in the small.
Okay, check.
By the way, look at the hands he's up against. This is really fortunate.
I mean, not as fortunate as just raising and taking it and denying the equity of these 2 hands, but
fair. But again, ICM on display, as is a 5-5 deuce board.
I mean, how are you confident neither of these guys has a 5? Like, you just...
Let's see how proud of this Bhalla gets. But it's Davenport that's going to speak up. No club on board, just the 7-3, and he takes a swing.
I mean, this should work a lot. Like, is Bhalla really going to go to war with bottom pair here? Yeah. Now, 6s are a different story. But there are not a lot of good cards for Staats on the turn. That if Davenport keeps this up, it's going to be very difficult for Staats to continue. I'd say that's exactly a scare card.
Front door flush arrival here. Staats does have the 6 of diamonds working, but a 9 isn't supposed to be part of Davenport's kit. And would he lead trip 5s? Would he lead the flush draw? These are the questions we need to ask ourselves.
I think that's a great question, but I also think that it's not that important in that Staats is going to be in a situation where he's just going to have to hold on for dear life and call this river.
Ace on the end. Maybe we're scared of it under other circumstances.
I don't think so. Not this.
Yeah.
I mean, Davenport can just put Staats to the test for like a huge portion of his stack. I don't know that it'll work. If there was ever a board to call down with 2 6s, I feel like this might be one of them. And I agree with you. I do think your question's quite relevant now, Ollie. Is that, does he ever play a 5 like this? And how often is he going to have a 5?
Let alone any old 9 that would be willing to barrel at the river after having been called on 2 streets.
Yeah.
An ace X that wouldn't have raised pre-flop. The story doesn't really check out.
I have to agree, but sometimes the story's got such a strong ending, you're forced to just believe it. It feels real bad to give up here, I'll say that much, and he does not seem like a give-up kind of guy.
He sure doesn't.
Here comes trick time. This bet's gonna have to be big, and I don't know how big.
Taking a peek at it.
630.
630, I do not know that that's good. Oh, 2.63.
This is Chateaubriand on offer right now. How much of this torque can 2 6s take?
He wants to. If he calls here and he's wrong, he has got not much of a stack left, especially because the blinds are going up next hand. Wow. Pure muscle. Oliver Najad. Pure muscle on every street.
Pocket 8s now for Overton. You said that you like being the shortest of the short stacks because you can't mess up.
You can't really mess this up other than folding. If you want to raise, call it off, fine. If you want to ship it in, fine.
All in.
There
I
it
think
is.
most people are going to settle on that option.
How much?
Ball asking for a count, has ace-jack. I would assume we are headed to Flipsville for just an 11 big blind shove.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just chilling until I ain't chilling. You feel me?
How tight do we think Overton is in this spot? How often is he shoving ace-10? Maybe sometimes ace-9 and less, maybe not at all.
What do you, the bluff, how much?
Boy, ace-jack is so problematic in these spots.
Yeah.
You can see
I was trying to get him to throw the ace.
Paula
The ace river.
not enamored with the situation he's been placed in here.
Did I just hear Davenport
Watch
correctly?
Watch the string. Watch the string.
He was trying to get an ace to fold on that river?
Yeah, it seems like he's walking back after paying a visit to the rail, updating his camp as to what was going on. And it looks like Balla has decided to flat. Queen Jack suited was a lot more attractive rather before the lights were turned up.
Like drip versus Riz, one of these two things has a slight mathematical advantage.
55-45 the advantage for Overton with the 8s. He's already gone all in once. He had to chop it despite free rolling versus Davenport. How will he perform here in an almost 5 million chip pot as he puts his life on the line again? Not well is your answer on an ace-queen-10 board.
You know what? Maybe you can mess up having 11 big blinds now that I think about it.
This is not his fault. Well, maybe little bit of that set on the turn trick time stuff.
Maybe he'll play it better on the turn. Oh, no. No hope with diamonds either.
Yeah, Bhalla's got that covered. Only a snowman will save Overton on this river. Supposed to be a couple of them in there. The 4 of spades is not it. And we have our first casualty here in the $1,500 six max, Joe.
The Overton window is closed.
Call him 8-9 off, man. Trying to get him.
I want to know who he's explaining all his thought processes to. There's like a biographer over there. It's like Gus Hansen's taking notes for the next edition of Every Hand Revealed, trick time style.
Take note of these 2 queens. Jackson facing an open to 400,000 from King 8 off. Has the luxury of playing back here. They are playing 40 bigs effective. Blind versus blind.
1550.
Raised to 1,550,000 total.
Here's the 3-bet. 1.15 more requested.
I can't. Hold on.
Seems like a fine spot for a tiny little bit of Hollywooding. Call this, you're out of position, you're off suit. Hand has poor visibility post-flop, Ali.
You're right about all of it.
I know you don't want to be exploited in this spot, right? Every time you raise, then you get 3-bet. If you give it up too easily, you kind of send the wrong message, but sometimes you just got to let them go.
I'm like 6. I'm in.
2.7 million.
Oh, hang on a second, Joe.
Very first hand of
Shirt
FT,
sleeves,
done open,
despite being
3-bet.
absent
He
in the
4-bet
image,
rips.
are being rolled up here by Bhalla, who 4-bets, ill-timed 2.7.
I mean, I always forget this is an option. Obviously, in this case, it probably shouldn't have been.
But credit to Jackson for coming with the size that opened the door for Bhalla to do this.
Absolutely.
You can get out in front of your skis a little bit and decide to just rip it and make things simple on yourself.
Yeah.
And now the rip will come with 2.7 in earn as opposed to 400.
And this is a 2-time bracelet winner. That's the difference. I think your average amateur who's in this spot and is pretty nervous and pretty excited to get it in with the best hand does rip it there quite a bit. Now, does Jackson ever continue to play this creatively?
I don't think that's ever a thing. But you know what? How many times are we going to be wrong in this pot?
It doesn't look like an all-in.
Not quite yet. He's pulled back. You know what would be great is if he just folded right here after having pulled the chips back in.
I got to read, man. After all the praise we give him for getting more money in.
Okay. 5th floor.
I'm so annoyed how much of this I'm going to steal from you
3 million.
after working with you. 3rd floor, 5th floor. Love it. Love it. Love your work.
That's. I love 2 queens. I love them enough.
The Queen of Spades particularly is just one of the best cards in the deck. Top 3 card.
Well, Jackson's saying I do here to these ladies.
There's just no way this hand continues now, right? Like, this is Hollywooding at this point. This is like, I'm going to make a tight laydown with 9s here.
Yeah, it's over. Although we took a circuitous routing to arrive at the destination.
Right.
Ace 10 of diamonds. Let's see whether or not notices are going to be served here against Jackson's 400K, which isn't going to be evicted.
Jacks on. It's right there.
7-6-4.
It's right on the screen. All I do is pause.
Stave sinking his teeth into the low-hanging fruit.
It's delicious, actually. Some of the best fruit you can find. Why would you start higher? It doesn't make any sense.
No, that's fair. I mean, maybe because there's already a worm poking its head out of the
Live
apple.
for today. Protein? Beautiful flop for jacks.
Oh, but you see Davenport saying it's my board to rep. And absent the overpair, as we can see is on the screen here, the 2 over cards are going to have a tough time.
Yes, 2 over unpaired cards are going to have a tough time.
And this is precisely why Davenport is asking questions. 3 1/4, under advisement.
And we're going to see a just call.
Yep, another 650 into the purse.
This is a very brave person.
Deuce of diamonds. Backdoor nut flush draw could grease some
Oh,
wheels.
my goodness. I was going to say that the deuce didn't bring anything really in there that wasn't already beating pocket jacks. But those diamonds are dicey. Surely Jackson will want to put some more money in with the bet from Davenport.
Damarjai hasn't made up his mind just yet. Things could get really awkward if he tried to get fancy with a check raise.
You're right about that. But I don't see how Davenport doesn't bet this. It's a perfect spot to continue telling your story on the flop, and you've got so many outs if you're behind.
1.350.
That is a chonker of a bet.
1.35. This man means business.
That bet is a husky boy.
It's big boned. Here's the thing. Jackson's looking into the crystal ball here. He knows that a call here leaves him with 4.3 and puts the pot right in that territory, and very much with that 1 SPR, meaning stack to pot
3.4.
ratio, he could potentially be asked for all of it, so he's going to seize the initiative himself now. A raise to 3.4 million. This says I am ready to take a stand.
Yeah, and Ali, I think we're in the similar situation as to before, is that would a powerful made hand bet this big here? This feels like a draw, a combo draw a lot of the time. This draw is a little bit stronger than I would be expecting. With the diamonds, I'd expect, like, you know, a lot of 7-5s here.
Yeah, you know that if it's a pair, it isn't naked. It's got some additional equity in the form of the straight draw or a flush draw. All those combos are available. Look at Davenport, eyes on.
Owen.
And he's going to rip it. Jackson always knew what he was going to do in the face of this. And an ace or a diamond could spell the end for these two jacks, and in turn for David Jackson. 13 million chip pot, the biggest so far. One to come, 12 outs to fade.
Big moment for the two-time bracelet winner.
Oh yeah.
Could be the last card of this tournament for him.
Jacks are puckered up here. And a sweet finish as a red queen in heart form secures a massive double.
Bug juice.
Bug juice. Been a minute. 2 7s here. Johansson says hello.
Oh my G.
You know, in context too, this could look like a man
Yeah.
who's just a little annoyed at what we just witnessed and is looking to snack on this 400K. As we can see, it is the real deal.
Johansson starts shortest, has 17 big blinds to kick the hand off. I mean, if there was ever a time to rip it in against the small blind, recently stacked, volatile chip leader, how do you get away from this?
You don't. Simple answer.
Breakout for this?
He is looking for an opportunity. Sat with 17 bigs. And there it is. The snapper from Davenport.
Sorry, he had it this time.
Well,
it might be a real long break for Oscar Johansson.
Yeah, got the backpack in tow, prepared potentially.
Yeah.
You know what? Take the break, we'll run it afterward.
That's out of the writer's room. Cliffhanger there.
But they deal slow.
Catch me outside. Hey, let's go. It's a break. I ain't gonna. We're gonna break.
Is he not even staying a
Davenport
while?
leaving?
I mean, how did I predict that?
That's
He's
wild.
just leaving. That's funny.
He's unbothered. He's like, I'll find out when I get back. Of course, Johansson
He
not
doesn't
sharing that
even
feeling.
care.
Yeah,
I would be
no,
like,
confirmed.
See ya.
Kings.
Did he look back?
hang
No,
on.
no, you can't
Nah,
look back.
don't do that.
You can't look back. If you're gonna
He's
go, just go.
confident, bro.
You know,
he knows.
I would
He's like, I
definitely
got it.
troll
I'm
if I was
gonna
Oh,
still
just
there. Give a
scream?
scream. Oh my God!
All right, he got it. We're
Well,
down to
running
5.
queens, and it's a
luck.
wrap.
You
And I don't think Davenport meant anything by it, but it's almost kind of insulting
Good game,
too
man.
that the guy's like
You too.
not even there for your 6th place finish here.
It's one less handshake that'll be issued.
Our camera won't take a picture. Right?
Most of the time, it's the customer saying that to the bookie. In
No,
States'
not in my case.
The bookie has the excuses. As we see the excuse for the $500,000 from Jackson, ace queen, incredible. Red 6s for Davenport.
Okay, let's see how this dynamic works now. Chip leader versus middle stack, but reversed.
Seeking vengeance. 9-7 deuce, still ahead. 2 overs and the club.
This is gonna feel like the nuts against the guy who just stacked you twice. Jackson firing 2 chocolates for $1 million.
Now Davenport getting a spoonful of his own medicine, but up to the task here despite having 3rd pair, not looking at this board texture and thinking it interacts with Jackson.
And not exactly a scare card for the 6s on the turn.
No.
We haven't seen a double barrel work on Davenport. Don't know how many better hands would fold to a 2nd barrel. .3 in the middle. I mean, you would assume Jackson might want to just get to showdown with ace queen. Maybe he thinks he can get value. You know, I'm thinking about this maybe from the wrong perspective. Maybe you can get value from worse hands here. You got the ace of clubs in your hand, so maybe you can get value from some club draws. Maybe you can get value from worse aces. And maybe I'm just dead wrong and you can bluff out better. Maybe 6s fold to a 2nd barrel.
2.7 is a healthy request.
It does look like Davenport is trying to make a read. Maybe he does have a fold here sometimes. very easy to start second guessing yourself after you doubled someone up twice, but Davenport is holding.
Another 5.4 into the middle, and the queen is disaster
Plan
for
A.
Davenport.
Get there. Just get there.
And by the way, value is available. If Davenport has convinced himself that Jackson is light, you could see him making a big call just north of 1 SPR. How greedy will Jackson get? That's TBD. A top pair, top kicker on this board, I have to imagine.
What are you afraid of here? You ran into 7-9? That's really your only fear here, right? Davenport gonna have sets here very often? Probably not. I think you feel like you might be up against a 9 here pretty regularly when it gets to this point. It's a hand you can get value from. Jackson, 8.7 in the middle. And seems to be cutting out millions of chips. Davenport.
Wow.
Snap calls, didn't even see the total of the bet.
Mind was made up, and another one of those situations where the idea was right, but the river was wrong.
Yeah, he's just like, this fella's got nothing. I'm gonna station the river, and plan A unfortunately got in the way.
3.8. Yeah. 3.8 saved.
Queen suited for David Jackson.
600, he says. King 10 off, bowing out. Fold it around to the big ace king for Bhalla.
And Bhalla in an interesting spot. Has 2 shorter stacks. Still in this tournament. Would be an absolute disaster to go broke here. Bhalla is all in. Jackson snap calls, domination situation.
Boy.
Bhalla with the double.
At risk.
Yeah, bro. Don't jinx me.
Yeah.
What you got?
But certainly not a done deal to double
I
up.
would never jinx you.
Anything can happen.
Well, on the
There's still
preferred
5
side
cards.
of some S&M here
All right. Thanks.
is the ace
Appreciate it.
king.
I'm pulling for myself.
If I die, I die.
Anybody else pulling for me?
No.
You pulling for me?
No.
I got one person pulling for me.
I think Staats
He
made
stays
the
out of
choice.
it. He stays out of it. I like that.
Oh my goodness.
That's
I like
sad.
that.
Damn,
That-
stand up.
who
Let's
folded?
fuck
I
this
like
shit
this.
together.
All right. Time to go home.
stand up.
Time to go
No,
home.
we're gonna sweat now. We
No, just let him leave.
Yes.
4 spades.
Okay, we were just talking about how the front door doesn't get there.
You're right.
Four
That's the
spades.
hardest one.
The front door doesn't get there.
I think
the
the front
hardest
door's
one,
getting there.
4
on the turn.
spades. Okay.
Okay, clean.
Okay.
Keep it clean.
Queen of clubs.
There's no more
5
queens. They all folded queens.
of diamonds. 5 of diamonds.
I like that. Five of hearts. I like that.
Five's my
5 of
lucky.
diamonds.
Five's
Just
my
for the
lucky
sweat, for the
card.
red, but 5 of diamonds. 5 of diamonds.
Cards to soil things, and there it is.
You got it. You got it.
Bro.
Good
The
game.
devastating queen of diamonds
GG.
on the end.
Domination, rotation,
We
devastation.
need that. We need that.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Good plan,
A
bro.
brutal ending.
Hell
I mean, it's cool. I mean, but damn.
But you get it. T-shirts, hoodies, and other good things, all available at PokerGO.com.
And hold on a second while I move this bus off of producer Jackie. Boop, boop.
No. Sheep correctly guided me.
Oh,
I
I see.
incorrectly delivered. As this flop delivers bottom pair to Jackson.
It sounded like you were blaming producer
No,
Jackie.
never that. She's the best in the biz. Got shot straight draw here for Davenport. Couple of checks. Now we go to a 2-way straight draw. Courtesy of this 5. Let's see if this motivates Davenport. 165 in the middle. This one was a raise from Jackson. Queen 6 offsuit now very much demonstrating the gear he's in, and Davenport demonstrating that he is going to continue to fight as he throws the gloves on here for 6 1/4.
I mean, I don't know how you don't take this bet very, very seriously, but Jackson is a non-believer.
Board pairing 5 after the call. We're adrift with 10 high now.
Adrift with 10 high and not even a pot-sized bet left behind. Does emptying the clip even work once Jackson's got to this point?
It would be so damaging to step away, but potentially even more so to jam. Let's see. Snap call, was it? No,
yet.
okay.
16, 1.6.
I mean, his body wanted to do it though, Ali.
I thought his mind had been made up, but he's going to give it a little think here, or maybe a big one. TBD. This is a 5.5 big blind jam on the end, and look at that face. Davenport unafraid to stare his man dead in the eyes.
Jackson not paying a lot of attention to Davenport. Just going over the hand in his mind. Jackson was the original raiser. Davenport, this is a big blind defend. It is really tough to call in these spots when your opponent can have any 2 cards. 7-9 possible, 6-8 possible. Jack 8, a 5. And also some draws that missed.
All Jackson needs to do is click call, and he'll send Davenport packing.
3rd pair. Not easy. Does get him.
And the chip leader coming into this one by a wide margin is dispatched. Gave it all he had though, Stapes.
Played with a lot of heart.
Good game, dog.
And we have finally couched Damarjai Davenport. I just feel like these button opens. Oh, okay. I was going to say they should be auto opens, but we're going to shove on the 2 stacks.
Auto mug for 9 deuce. Pocket 8s for Staats.
Gotta go. Got it. I mean, it's just, is he really doing this with aces, kings, queens?
I mean, Godspeed if so. You know, these 18 bigs need to find a time. And now is that time as the call is made.
8s versus King 10. 8s versus King 10.
King 10 of spades versus 8s.
Being provided to the rails.
All right.
Like valid
Use your luck
versus
again.
facts.
He got 8s, I got King 10 of spades.
One of these 2 hands has a slight mathematical advantage.
Coin ever so slightly weighted in favor
Now what should we do together?
of Staats.
Jackson has a habit of doubling up these shorties.
Ace 6 5 8s hanging in. The advantage grows to 3-1 for the 3-time WSOP circuit ring holder.
Just makes it all the more painful. Or maybe no pain at all.
No.
Gotta fade a 6-outer.
I would need to see it. I don't think I could do it like this and just judge the reaction.
14.6 listing towards him. Let's go! Ensuring that he knows it is secured.
Jack 9 for Jackson.
Thank you.
And just ships it.
Ace 8, Xiao digs in, and she'll be delighted
Jack 9 of hearts
to be a favorite, but not by much for all the marbles.
I gotta win one of these.
Hearts, Ace 8.
Can Xiao
I gotta win one of these.
survive again?
Get this
Yeah.
heads up.
I got Jack 9 of hearts.
Get this heads up. Jack 9, hearts.
I'm due.
Jack 9 of hearts.
I haven't won one of these ones. 9-9 Jack. I got the lucky 9. I like 9s. I gotta win one of them. That is a terrible flop.
That's really bad for Jack 9.
13.8
10.
million chip pot.
Take a 10.
Xiao looking to double back into second by a narrow margin.
Nine.
Jackson trying to punch a ticket. The heads up in the 9.
Lucky 9. 2.
Arrives with such casual ease and effortless. Full house for Jackson, 86%. Xiao praying, hoping, needing an ace. 9 for a chop, and instead the jack as Jackson does it both
You
ways.
played really good.
Great playing. You were great. Played awesome. Really, you played awesome.
All right, let's do this,
We
man.
finally
Good luck.
see the end to Steely Shundan Xiao.
Go.
Eliminated.
Go.
Just shy of $200,000 in
man.
third place. Really outperformed in a couple of spots for sure, and this is one of them. by
That's
the way.
right.
Check.
If Staats ends up finishing second again here, and that record goes to 9 and 13, well, he was a 3-1 dog headed into it.
The Jack 9 of diamonds
Oh.
permits the limp and finds itself with a flush against bottom 2.
Oh. Is this GG right here?
I think we've pulled the pin in the grenade. Staats is going to be left holding this one potentially. A 4th diamond perhaps offers escape. 8 or a 6, of course, would do the trick.
But with a boring run out, this is certainly going to hurt Staats. If not completely eliminate him. Staats has bet $1 million. And some more money is going in now.
Boy, you like this out of Jackson too, because this happens every now and again. And is bracelet number 3
8-6.
Flop the flush.
going to be
First two
placed
pair.
on that man's
Flush.
wrist
You got
right
two pair.
there?
83% of the time it will be.
We gotta hold.
No.
We gotta hold.
No, what you gonna do?
All right.
Buddy, go watch.
Yeah, I flopped the flush. Yeah. I don't know. We gotta hold.
Staats, by the way, right where he was when the chips got in there. Hydrating, but the thirst will really be quenched if he can fill up, which he does on the turn. 4 outer.
Damn.
Binky.
That's it. Fucking unreal. Got it.
Thus far.
You know you in trouble now.
Huh?
So now you in trouble.
I just said it.
I got that good luck.
I got good luck too.
Now you're all in big, big trouble.
What you got is 9 high against a couple of queens.
Excuse me, 9-8 is a call-offable hand. I don't know if you were watching earlier, but one guy thought about it
Let's
real
do it.
long and another
Feel
guy
like doing
didn't.
it. Let's do it. This is it. Let's see. See some flops.
I mean, the lucky brother so far is checking out.
See how lucky he is.
Let's see. Gut shot straight draw on an ace high board. $6 million out there.
Yeah, no re-raise. You're probably not as scared of the ace.
Certainly there are a number of ace X's that would be in the flatting range for Jackson against a stack that has now grown for Staats.
As it stands, I mean, you gotta be curious. Can you hit this 6?
Sorry.
10 million in the middle.
He's gonna spend $2 million to find out.
Ooh, a straight card, but not the right one. does put a potential flush draw out there. Slowing down feels reasonable, given that some aces are possible. Tough to get 3 streets out of a hand that queens is beating. On this board, there's the check.
Valid points. Stats agrees with the assessment. And now let's see if Jackson senses an opportunity potentially here.
I mean, you gotta love your queens now. Oh,
Oh,
my
wow.
goodness.
Now a 4-liner on board, Joe, so this is staring these queens right in the face. Not lost on Stats. But let's see.
What a gross river. Stats checks is gonna be put in a weird spot. Oh, this, I do not envy Stats facing whatever bet is coming on this river. Okay, that makes it a little easier. I mean,
To the ground. Don't put it in my face.
you can't put it in your face. You made a great fold. I know we were focused on Stats there, but Jackson, knowing.
I mean, I think you got to go all either way, but.
255.
It's funny, he did say we're going to play a big pot.
4.7.
And
Oh,
he's
he
making
loves
good.
the 4.7. I mean, you just can't do it, Ali. You can't get away from 10s.
No, and
You're going to want to see all 5.
well, you can see Stats now. A fold is not in his future, but how does he want to proceed? He's been so tidy about things. Does he really want to give a spin to 2 10s?
Yes.
Unclear what sort of range. I agree, but you know, he's shown different looks.
We're going to need some more water over here. No, the big one.
This could end up being a
All
big
in?
one. All in. Declared.
He is itching the call.
I need to count.
Count's probably a good idea.
King Queen offsuit in particular, Joe, one of those holdings that interferes with so much of the premium stuff that would assume this posture from Stats. Various ace kings and ace queens, pocket kings, pocket queens.
Are you looking at from a perspective of you are blocking those hands, or
Yes.
you are dominated if you happen to be up against one of them?
No, I mean, we interfere with the presence of that sort of stuff in Stats.
18,750,000.
Well, you are right in this case. The 10s are unblocked.
However, what Jackson needs to mull over is how well does he assume this holding performs against even the lower part of Stats' jamming range here. Things like a baby suited ace come to mind, but that hand is ahead of us. And, you know, I confess I see that one specifically based on what we've observed as maybe being the lightest that I could see Stats being in this spot.
If that.
Right. Oh, the call is made.
We are flipping
King, queen,
potentially
versus
for the
tens.
bracelet.
I got king queen. King queen.
And if
luck,
Stats
man.
survives, they're going to flip-flop
Do it.
on the leaderboard.
Let's do it.
Jackson hasn't
Need
run
this one.
super hot in all
I need it.
ins.
No, you're right about that. He's performed very poorly for the most part. Bar the
5-10.
elimination of Shundan Xiao with the Jack-9.
On his 3rd attempt.
Yeah. 38 million chip pot. Will it be bracelet number 3 or will it be stack inversion? This flop suggests the latter.
Give me the news.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby.
I need a king. King of hearts.
Hold. King, hold. Hold right here. Hold. Hold.
Brother Will, with the mantra that proves effective on the turn.
Come on. Hold.
As they combine,
Hold.
try to see Chris Staats through to his first chip lead of this final table. And he's done it!
Let's go! Woo! Patience pays off.
18.
Pressed down in his boots. Let's see how much pressure will be applied by Staats under new circumstances.
Yeah, we don't know how he plays with a chip lead. Clean it up, Staats.
You know, I confess this feels a little indulgent not to look at the hand and then, you know, decide
Let him have his moment.
while doing the housekeeping. You know, we could have flicked that biscuit in there a little earlier. Oh, Jack 7-7.
MG.
Could
G,
this
as
one
in OM, good game.
come to an abrupt halt? One hand removed from doubling into the chip lead?
This is the cooler I've all been waiting for.
Top pair backdoor clubs, a follow through of 600K.
I like how he keeps stacking his chips. He's in no rush here.
Trip sevens, salivary glands activated.
Pure drool.
Raise to 1 million.
Comes in for the raise. And luckily for him, Jackson has got a hand he cannot fold to one raise.
I confess, man, I'm a bit surprised. This is so much hand heads up.
So much hand, not a ton of draws on this board.
I mean, yeah, you got the inside straightiness that could have clicked pre, but, you know, just flatting and seeing what's what on the turn and not risking losing your customer, inviting an opportunity for them to find a little bit of equity feels like maybe the safer path. But of course, as we can see on this occasion, no punishment as the jack hangs tough. Gut shot straight draw added to the arsenal.
Now you get a little
Staats.
now you get a little antsy about the draws that are out there.
I mean, listen, this is a whole lot of hand. We fear nothing at present, especially with a 9 in hand.
Sure, yep. Some of the straights end up with a full house for Staats.
At 3,600,000.
And he comes out swinging again, and this is a bit of a mind F here for David
Because it's the
Jackson.
first hand
That's
that
right.
he's having to face Staats with a chip lead.
Correct.
This feels like Frisk.
You just get leveled here so often. Oh, look who's the chip lead. All of a sudden is coming out swinging on every street. I got
Yeah.
top pair.
3,600,000.
I'm not going to get blown off a top pair just because I just lost the chip lead.
Yeah. He doesn't look thrilled with the situation, but obviously Jack is a lot of hand in this spot, even in the face of the line taken, in particular in context, as you pointed out, Joe. Pot rose to 13.5. Just north of 1 SPR,
All in.
a blank river, and no hesitation.
No hesitation.
Staats just rips it.
Think this through, David. And once again, we're in a situation. If this call is made, it's over.
Well, fucking turnaround, huh?
Here's what's wild, is not only do you block the jack, but you really don't expect Staats to bring this kind of heat with it. So once you remove that, is it maybe an 8-9 that got there? Check raising the gutty and then following through is a thing. I don't think a 10 ever
fuck.
sails off in this way.
Damn.
No read.
This is trip sevens plus, if it's credible. And if it isn't, it's an opportunity to click call and wrestle that chip lead back. But as we can see, clicking call spells the end.
THEEND.
precipice of his second bracelet is Chris Staats, his first live.
Makes the call. It's over. The crowd knew it.
And a 1-2 punch,
Jack,
and
I got a jack.
finally a release
Jack
from Staats.
He had a 7.
What a comeback.
Jack 7. Insane.
Great match, great match.
A disappointed David Jackson
Thank you.
being shown respect by the rail. $276,000, which he earned. But in the end, it unraveled in a big hurry as Chris Staats is your champion here in event number 13, $414,000 richer.
Cuff him.
Well, there it is. The official payouts here in the $1,500 No Limit Hold'em 6 Max. A true classic indeed. True classic tease. Very apropos way to describe the performance by Chris Staats, who put on a bit of a clinic and then ran good when it counted, Joe.
Just patience, patience, patience. Close it.
Hoist the hardware, young man.
I love you. I'm so proud of you, dude. That's awesome. Love you, dude. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it.
There's all the emotion.
You deserve it. I'm so proud of you, dude. I'm so glad I was here.
Touching moment
Oh, man.
on the rail there with big brother Will, who's awfully proud of his younger bro. Certainly the final 7 here should take pride in what they achieved today, but in the end, the flag planting belonged to Chris Staats. Certainly hope that you enjoyed today's coverage of the World Series of Poker. On behalf of our entire crew here in Las Vegas and my partner in the booth, Joe Stapleton, this is Ali Najad saying good night, and we'll see you next time at the WSOP.